Hi, chat. Get rid of that. Get rid of that's not the scene I want to go to. There we go. Hi, chat. Things might look slightly different. That's because I remade the entire I remade the entire Demon Bluff scene from scratch. And now it can exist without breaking my regular one. Now I can use this scene without my main scene breaking. Thank you, OBS. In fact, I'm straight up saying it. Fuck you, OBS, for having your default behavior paste everything as a reference, and then you change the new one, and then everything fucking breaks. But I remade it from the ground up with new shit so that it doesn't do that. And now this scene can exist. Yeah, copy by reference, my beloved. The game has updated since the last time I streamed it. And one of the things they added is that I don't need to tab out to look at the patch notes anymore. Here they are. Here's most of the patch notes. In fact, it's actually updated twice since I last streamed it. This is, oh my fucking god, the scroll wheel does nothing. Just this one is kind of like irrelevant. It's basically just bug fixes and fixes with localizations that I am not using, which are always good to see. But these patches, also not that important. Basically, just we're not gonna get doppelganger bakers as often, and we're not gonna get double bombardiers as often. And there's been some changes to how a lying bard works, but not really significant. And they also changed how standard mode works, which I don't really play. We're gonna hop into some endless here. Let me just see. Yeah, okay, the settings are working how I want them to. So we do have nighttime behind my head. I'm glad I managed to position myself correctly for that. My testing village did not have a nighttime counter. I feel like I'm in the wrong spot. Let me... Come on. Let me just scooch myself a little bigger. There we go. No, that doesn't feel right. That feels better. That feels better. Trade is evil, OBS is corrupted. Yeah, that sounds about right. Why am I not on my chat scene for screenplays? Hello? I said go to chat like 5 times. There we go. Oh, well, I guess we're flipping this first. That was not intentional. It's a fortune teller. Slayer. Well, thanks for the information before Lilith kills something, you guys. I really appreciate it. Well, that's a good. We also have a dreamer that I am going to get to use more than once. Closest evil is clockwise. That is pretty directly pointing at a confessor who's claiming to be good. Could still be true if it's these two. But I know this is a confessor now, so let's see what you say here. Confessor or enlightened? Well, there's a lot of things I can get off of that. First of all, you're good. Second of all, you are just always evil. You're Lilith. Okay. That makes sense. So that means the closest evil... I think Lilith has just outed this fortune teller. That's kind of what I was expecting to see. Oh, right, there's a werewolf. Well, now I know the werewolf is one of these two, and I know this is good. So I don't even have to flip the next 2 cards. I can just do this. Oh. I was gonna say, and then stab this, but no, it just was number 8. What even were you? Wait, how are you saying that? Turned into a werewolf is affected by an evil. Right. Okay, well, there's proof of that, finally. And what are you? Scout is what you are. You will see Amada coming. Help. Yep. Yeah, I way back at like the very beginning of my streams, I did do a full game layout, but I kept covering things and I wasn't a fan of it, so that's why I've got the current border layout. But for this game specifically, you really need to be zoomed in and reading the dialogue, and I play it enough to give it a dedicated scene. Okay, we've got... Oh, good lord. Puka Poisoner is always spicy. And we've got a Rambler and a Bombardier on top of that. Good lord. Well, here's the Bombardier. Empress with some interesting information. 9 is a real investigator. Let me play Liar's Economy. So we've got 2 evils and up to 3 corruptions. We could have up to half of the information could be wrong. I don't think I can make any... I can't make any qualitative statements about this medium. It's on the same team as this guy. That's what I can say. You're telling 5 to shut up. I can't help but notice that there's 2 of you. You're both telling 5 to shut up. And you're pointing at the... This is just objectively not possible, I don't think. Wait, no, it could be. Let's just keep flipping. 2 or 6 is a poisoner. Yeah. I think I've found the evil team. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I think I've already found the evil team. But I'm gonna keep flipping. Like hell am I stabbing that. These are both real outcasts. And you're gonna... Yeah. That's Puka. Because 9 was not a real investigator. 6 is not a poisoner. So 2 is a poisoner. Yeah. It was exactly what I thought it was. I just wasn't confident enough to stab it yet. Ba, Chancellor, Rambler, and who knows. Well, we found the Rambler. I guess I'll flip him. 1 card away from the closest evil, and you're actually talking next to a Rambler. I'm not gonna stab you because you could be a drunk, but this seems exceptionally true. Oh. So you say as clear as a pure god? My god, these quotes. Okay, well, bro is real. And also we found... Great job, Ba. You tried. Okay, what are the possibilities here before I use this druid? Actually, wait a minute. No, this is easy. I think. Yeah, it's these 2. Because the reason I know this is we have a Chancellor. The Chancellor has to sit next to an outcast. All of our outcasts are face up. We know one of the Ramblers is fake. Ba is never one of the Ramblers. One of the Ramblers is always the Chancellor, and it's always the Rambler next to the outcast. Goodbye. At which point, bro is lying. I didn't even need the druid. I thought I was going to need the druid to solve that. Ba, Puppeteer, and Unknown. This could be a spicy one. Dreamer. Rambler. Well, I guess Ba didn't do a great job hiding that. Bard, who is correctly telling this Rambler to shut up. Baker saying some absolute nonsense in a village with no corruption. Lover, who is statistically telling the truth. Actually, lover who is statistically not telling the truth. Lover who is telling the truth. Thank you, bakers. Very cool. The classic dingus, both of you. Both of you. This is one of the most dingusy villages I've ever seen in this game. Never put Ba in charge of the evil team. It doesn't work. Speaking of Ba, he's back with a puppeteer again and a witch this time. And we still don't know. Investigator. Probably evil. 6 was affected by an evil. That means one of two things in this puzzle. 1, 5, or 6. Druid. Well, if 6 was affected by an evil, it's either a drunk, in which case I'm fine if I stab it, or a doppelganger, in which case it lives, or a puppet. Hi, Wretch. You're always good, despite what people might think about you. That also means this druid never finds anything. It might just, I think it might just be like this whole situation is our evil team. Because these two are very, this just is, in fact, now I know I have no corruption, I can stab that. This, how can this be true? No. Great job, Ba. Now, this could be one of these two is the puppeteer. And the way I solve that is by doing this. There is a demon. So I think you are just the puppeteer. What? But 1, 5, or 6 is not evil. Original baker. Okay, well, now I know it's... Oh my god, this is the puppet, and it told the truth. Whoops. I should have just kept flipping. Well, hey, this loadout looks familiar, except we have a twin minion instead of a witch. Druid. Empress with some interesting information pointing at that druid. Bombardier. Knight in a village with no corruption. Yep. The dingustry is very strong with this village. This druid is only ever going to be able to either see... No outcasts? Well. Interesting. Well, you're correct now, which hard clears these two. You could be a puppet, though. Okay. I knew you were real. 1 card away from closest evil immediately makes a 50-50. Well, I know you're telling the truth. Great job, Ba. And now we just have to find the puppet. 2 is good. We found the puppet. I'm gonna go into blind mode. Because I think I'm too powerful, and I think I'm warmed up at this point. So now, who knows what we've got? I don't know what we have. What I do know is we don't have nighttime. 3, 4, and 8. I think I'm gonna flip into this. Okay, so I can't make any qualitative statements about this bishop yet. Yeah, the Ba and the minions are just like, they have the same disguising rules as everyone else, but they are not the same intelligence as everyone else. And also, Ba just doesn't do anything when you can't see the deck in the first place. Well, there's our one outcast. So actually, you are always lying, which means these are always all villagers. Oh. Well, okay, we have a Puka puzzle, so this is corrupted. And we have an outstanding Plague Doctor corruption somewhere. Keep flipping. We could have a Chancellor. I was about to stab this, but this could be a Chancellor. What the fuck? Okay, well, you will tell me a lie. If you think this is telling the truth, it's actually lying. There we go. It was a Chancellor disguised as a third outcast. That was okay. This is why I have the numbers off, so that I can't use that information, because I'm too powerful even without that information. We've got... No, we do have nighttime, so Lycanthrope or Lilith. Or Lilith. Let's start flipping. Slayer. Original Baker. Jester. We have Lilith. Lover who says 1 adjacent. I'm gonna leave this unflipped in case Lilith kills it. Second Dreamer could be a doppelganger. Or a shaman. Where the Baker went. So probably good. This feels exceptionally like a real Baker. You, on the other hand, feel exceptionally not like a real Baker. That's kind of what I thought. So this lover is claiming that this lover is evil. Or this dreamer, rather, is evil. So let's do this. Dreamer or minion? Well, that is information. We have a regular-ass minion. What are you? Judge. I can still use that. So if you think this is lying, it's telling the truth, which means this is actually lying, or this is evil. Oh. This could be a puppet now. Either way, this saw a dreamer where there wasn't one. So then this is never a minion. So this is always another evil. That's the minion. See if you say 3 or 2. You say 2 because unfortunately you are the puppet. This was a doppelganger? Where was the other Slayer? It was over here. And then this guy turned you into a Baker. Which means I actually couldn't do my Baker logic on this, and it was wild that that worked. That shouldn't have worked, but it did. I need to be careful about that in case I ever in case I ever get a 4th flip Baker again. I need to be careful of that. I do have game audio, right? Yes. I would never forget game audio. Yeah, that was a surprisingly clever minion. Well, that's a bombardier. They just activate Lilith as judge. Yep, you are allowed to use abilities on characters you have killed. That is a thing you are allowed to do. It used to not be like that, but what was happening was people were just not killing anything until they used every ability, and that wasn't very fun. So they changed it. We got a bombardier who I kind of trust just by nature. Never mind, we have a plague doctor sitting right next to him. 2 or 5 is a witch. I feel like 2 could be a witch. There's a hydrate and stretch combo. Oh, I needed that stretch. Okay, so 2 or 5 kind of is implying to me... Well, first of all, we have a witch. And second of all, it's probably here. Three... Or this is just evil. Or this is just evil. Okay, there's too many possibilities. I actually can't stab yet. Oh, hey, Mutzi. Yeah, I saw that message with what's wrong with planets. That is kind of nuts and hopefully gets fixed soon. Okay, so there's 3 possibilities for this. 1, this guy is real. And this is not corrupt. This is corrupted, and this is evil, which intrinsically makes this almost certainly evil. Or this is evil. This is not corrupted, which makes it also evil, and this is still telling the truth, which means this has to be the witch. So I cannot make any statement about this information just yet. What's good? Yeah, that is in fact the question that we are asking in this game. Congrats, Mutzi, you get it. No, don't heist me. I am not... What the heck? Oh. Okay, well, this bishop is always true, which means this is always a villager. And one of these is always evil, which was, like, almost guaranteed to be true, but now it's just actually guaranteed to be true. But I still don't think I can really stab. I mean, it's probably just 2. I'm gonna stab. It wasn't. Which means this is good. This is now evil. And 3 is hard confirmed, but has to be corrupted. Why did I stab that? I got it confused. I got it mixed up in my head. If it's good, then the confessor's good. I got the 2 scenarios cross-wired. God fucking damn it. Okay. I have deduction skill. Yeah, I have deduction skills. Good freaking luck. What I don't have is basic intelligence. Okay, we do have nighttime in this puzzle. Hunter, who is claiming there is evil among these 2. Seems believable. That is a bombardier. That is a jester. We have a lycanthrope. Well, bro is telling the truth. The speedrun skipped the basic intelligence and went straight to advanced intelligence. Yup. That's what happened. Okay, well, I found the witch. We have a lycanthrope that may or may not have turned. Oh no, Haika was corrupted. Oh no. Hey Haika, you should look out for plague doctors living next to you, or otherwise in your village. Didn't I figure out what role you were? I feel like I did. I think I called you specifically a corrupted oracle. I think. Witch is 2 cards away from closest evil. It could just be here. This is too many activate abilities. I don't like it. I'm gonna stab this guy. Hi, Ba. Well, this now appears to be true. This is just objectively true. Wait, this is never true. That was the werewolf. Puppet who's an oracle seeing themselves correctly as a puppet. That's what I said. It was some kind of something oracle. Then you responded, yep, I remember that now. I can't believe I just stabbed him. I just was like, wait, we have a lycanthrope. That means there is no... I could have been completely wrong. I just noticed that there could have been a chancellor who made that bombardier. I should not have survived that. Both sides equally evil. We do have nighttime again. Slayer. Alchemist who claims no one was corrupted. Interesting. That's a wretch. That's a Lilith. Evil's not adjacent. That seems quite plausible. No, Plague Doctor. That's good. We should see a second one. Second Slayer, and we have a Witch. Okay, well, here's a qualitative statement I can make about this architect. If this architect is telling the truth, this is evil. This architect is telling the truth. And this Slayer is good. Now, we could have a Shaman, which is why I'm not immediately stabbing this guy. In fact, now that I know this guy has to be... He's not evil, and he is telling the truth. Actually, wait, he could be evil. He's not... Okay. He's not evil. Or that's corrupted. My god, what the hell is going on in my chat? Dude, I look away from my chat and I look back. And we've got Mutzi crashing out. Mutzi, you think I'm defending you from that allegation when we both know something about that? You think I'm defending you from that? You know what I mean by that. Okay, I gotta stop getting distracted. This guy is confirmed now. Because if this... Wait, no, he isn't. If this Slayer is evil, then this Knitter is Plague Doctor corrupted. Which we do actually have to have a Plague Doctor corruption, and it didn't land in any of these places. So, actually, I think it has to... Well, it could have landed here. This is either evil or corrupted. I'm gonna stab the Slayer for the crime of being in a double claim. It was just the Witch. Yeah, that is true, Mutzi. That Paper Moon's got a point, and that's impressive when Paper Moon watches my streams all the time. So, like... Since when am I supposed to be on my side? You have threatened to steal my bones and kidnap me repeatedly. Why would I be on your side here? Okay. We don't have nighttime in this puzzle. I'm not stabbing that because it could be corrupted. Closest evil is this way, is what you would say if this night was a puka. Number 4 shut up is what you would say if this is a rambler. I think this is a... Ow. Ow, ow, ow. I just hit my hand on my mic. Okay, so these are presumably both real. This seems exceptionally real. Very suspicious. Or corrupted. Highly, highly, highly suspicious. Puppeteer puppet? Not puppeteer puppet. Simply incorrect? Ah. I see. I understand now. Yeah, but the 2 fucking bakers telling 4 to shut up. Okay, well, this is now very challenging to be true. So, okay. Sometimes it is just that simple. What even... Oh yeah, this was a rambler. A rambler I didn't flip in case there was a witch. What's the rambler's wisdom? I can't tell because the button's in the way. Okay, we do have nighttime. So, Lilith and or Lycanthrope. That is a knight. I'm tempted to stab. I'm gonna stab it. Knight who is good. Bombardier. We have Lilith, who is allegedly 3 cards away from the closest evil. This is a situation that I don't like. Could be a Chancellor, so I'm not stabbing bro yet. Oh my god. Can I get some information, please? 1 pair of evil? You're dizzy? Well, I've got no indication of corruption yet, so that's just Lilith. This is objectively true. Actually, this is either true or a Chancellor. This does not feel like it can be true. Wait. How do we have 2 outcasts and this is saying there's a pair of evil? This is a drunk. No, this can't be a drunk because we have 2 outcasts. We only have 1 more liar and it has to be here. So how are you saying that? Normally I would say drunk or lycanthrope that turned into a werewolf. So how the hell is this knitter saying this? There's no way for you to be corrupted, but how are you saying that? It's also probably worth noting that bro is not shutting up by this rambler, which means this rambler is probably evil. How do we have this many evils? We cannot have... There is no world in which this should be possible. I'm gonna stab this rambler. Puppeteer. Puppeteer is how we have 1 pair of Right. Because you tell the truth. And also because you had to be telling the truth. Oh my god. I forgot the puppeteer existed. I was so sus on this knitter, I just forgot the puppeteer was even an option. Okay, no nighttime. Investigator. Fortune teller. Oracle, who is pointing at the fortune teller, among other things. Baker, who is definitely lying. Gemcrafter, who says 3 is good. So it's either... Okay, it could just be these two, which would be really funny. You are 2 cards away, so it's no longer these two. Unless this is a poisoner and or puka. Still possible. Minion is 2 cards away. That kind of does lend some credence to the fact that it is just these two. And that would also explain why this is corrupted if this is puka. Second fortune teller is a doppelganger. And it's these two? I think it's actually just these two. I can't keep getting away with this. I don't know how I knew that. Like it just looked like a puka. It just looked evil shaped, and it was. Okay, no nighttime. That is a lot of evil in this puzzle. Evils are not adjacent to each other, says this poet. Objectively true statement, says this scout. Objectively false statement, says this poet. Dreamer. Bombardier, who I instinctively trust. Fortune teller. Plague doctor, who makes me trust the bombardier a whole lot less. Lover, who says 2. Empress pointing at several things. And a knight in a village with one reason to believe there could be corruption. Can this lover just be true? Yes. This lover could absolutely just be telling the truth. Could even be a puppet. Well, no, there isn't actually. I was about to say there's always an evil here. There actually isn't. There could be a chancellor, and these are both real. Here's a question. Where do I fit a puppeteer? Here? Or here? I'm stabbing this damn knight. Puppet. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is not a plague doctor. This is a plague doctor. This is no longer possible. This is probably the puppeteer. For the crime of lying while next to a known puppet. How many evils do I still have? I still have to find 2 evils. Okay, well, puppeteer is a lie, which means bombardier is either real or... It's either both of them or neither of them. And I can solve that like this. I think it's both of them. Or you're just... Okay, that's the plague doctor corruption, but that means this is not a bombardier. It's the minion. It also means this is telling the truth. And now that we have the plague doctor corruption out of the way, I think this is just evil. God damn it. I think that was a 50-50 though. Was there a way I could have known that? I don't think there was a way I could have known that. Yeah, Puka jump scare, I know. It was either a Ba here or a Puka here, and I didn't know. Oh well. Okay, no nighttime. Got a judge. Bard was saying 3 cards away from a corrupted character. Gemcrafter, who is immediately making me suspicious of this Bard just by existing. Investigator. Potentially corrupted. Although if this Enlightened is corrupted, it's kind of pointing back at these two. Which means it makes me think it's not corrupted. That's a Plague Doctor. Lover, who seems pretty convinced this is a real Plague Doctor. A second Bard, who is actually corroborating that this is corrupted. Which is being directly contradicted by the Plague Doctor. Oh, we have a witch. Minion? I kind of believe that. Corrupted. Why are you corrupted? Plague Doctor. Can 5 have been affected by an evil? Because it does currently appear to be pointing the right way. Okay, well, here's what I can say. This guy is telling the truth. Hold on, that means that at least one of these characters is not corrupted. Because the way that... Shut up. If you're lying, you'll learn how far you are from a random non-corrupted character. Which means I think that means neither of these can be corrupted? This is a recent change, so I'm not really sure. I also don't know how you are 1 card away from a corrupted character when this is a corrupted character. So I think this is just evil. God fucking damn it. And the... God damn it. In the same spot, too. That is... annoyingly familiar. Whatever, at least I didn't lose any streak from that, because that was the first village. Okay. Note to self, Puka exists. Okay, we got a lover who claims 0. Who is lying, because that is a wretch. 1 is evil. This could be a poisoner poisoning this. 3 away from a corrupted character. I think this is just a poisoner. That was a ridiculous stab. I should not have gone for it. Second lover. This could just be evil. Dreamer. 2 corruptions around you. I am curious where you found 2 corruptions. Okay, well, we know Poet is true, which means Poisoner is not true. But that also means we do have a Poisoner. I think this all just looks true. Means that this is some combination of poison or poisoned. I think this has to just be... This is just evil, because it's not corrupted. That's the poisoner. And then this was poisoned and then cured. Which means this is Puka. There we go. And that's where bro found 2 corruptions. Was this the poisoner and this from the Puka? Okay. Rare case where the alchemist was actually helpful instead of confusing. Rambler. Architect who's correctly telling that Rambler to shut up. Rambler. Bombardier. Closest evil counterclockwise? No shit. 1 or 3 is a puppeteer. Yeah, 2 Ramblers. Oh, 2 Ramblers saying the same thing. I didn't even notice. Slayer. So, I'm gonna be real. Let me explain how I knew that. If 1 or 3 is a puppeteer, they can never both be good, which hard clears this poet. Because this poet has oracle information. If an oracle's lying, then they're both good. They can't have both been good because they were both face-up Ramblers. Therefore, one of them was a puppeteer. And this puppet in between both Ramblers was telling this one to shut up, which means this puppet was telling the truth, telling this true Rambler to shut up, meaning this was not a true Rambler. Some slightly circular logic there. Like hell am I stabbing that. Great job, Ba. Just wonderful choice of disguise right there. Look, I have genius brain moments like this, and then I have, like, the past 2 puzzles. Okay, we've got nighttime. Been a while since I've seen nighttime. That's a different kind of nighttime. It wasn't nighttime. The hell is this game sometimes? Well, you're presumably telling the truth. That was a ridiculous stab to make. This seems exceptionally true. Three or 7 is a witch. I'm very tempted to just stab 7. I'm gonna stab 7. What even were you? You were a doppelganger, Bard. You were... Let me just flip the rest of this shit. We had a doppelganger Bard corroborating the first one. We had this, which was pointing at these 2. And then we had a druid. Wow. Sometimes it just pays off to just trust someone and stab. Anyway, we got nighttime. There's your stretch. There's the hydrate. Okay. Wretch. Number 3, shut up. Number 3, shut up. Well, that was very helpful of you, Lilith. Also, hi, Lilith. 10 is an exceptionally possible Chancellor. I'm doing it. Damn it. In case this is corrupted, I'm not gonna kill it. wait, we still have one more. Oh, yeah. We do have one more. Oh, right, the Chancellor. Wait, where do we fit a Chancellor on this board? Oh, this is fucked up. This is a 50-50. Either Chancellor is here, created a doppelganger who is telling the truth, or Chancellor is here and it created a doppelganger here who is telling the truth. This is a 50-50. Who do I trust more? I trust the scout more. Because you're a... Right. I forgot about that interaction entirely. Oh, and we had a fucking Rambler, so the scout had to be there. It couldn't have been... God damn it. So, fun fact. The Confessor cannot lie. And... to go into here. So, adjacent truthful characters cannot lie, always truthful. This is an evil interaction game. And I knew this was a thing. I just forgot that this is the first time I've encountered it, so I just forgot it was a thing. That is evil. I mean, yeah, no, great job, Chancellor. Least dingussy of the evils. Okay, no nighttime. Architect claiming this side. That is what you would say if you were evil. Bard claiming 3. That kind of does imply that there is something causing that corruption over here. Architect disagreeing with the first one. So here's my thought. Both of these architects are lying and the right side is more evil. That's my 2 cents on the matter. But I'm gonna keep flipping in case they're actually... Well, one of them is lying. That is just true. Pompadour. Nine is good. Oh, God. How does that happen? Okay, let's just look at this situation real quick. You're pointing at these two. Or you're pointing all the way at this. Hold up. Could it just be these 3? Good, corrupted. Pointing all the way over here, corrupted. It could just be these 3. You're saying truth? Okay, new play. Wait. How is that? Okay, hold up. How do you think 3 is telling the truth? Okay, new plan. True. This could be drunk. Oh, good lord, you could be drunk. But hold up, if you're drunk, then we have a Chancellor sat right next to one of these. I don't think we have a drunk. Do we have any corruption? We do. Because unless it's both of the bards, then we have two, then we definitely have a corruption somewhere. Is there anything these are both pointing at? No. It could be... These bards are trying to make this bombardier look like a puka, but that's not possible. I might need to stab to get more information out of this puzzle. Okay, well, here's what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna just stab 9. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Annoyingly, that doesn't actually solve this very much. I think it might now be impossible for this to be lying. In order for this to lie, this would have to be Eve. Wait, does that confirm these? Wait, no, it can't confirm these because it can't be these. Because this, hold up, this can no longer tell the truth. I have run out of things on the left side to be more evil. I think this might be a puka. That is true. Shit. Hold up, this is actually telling the truth right now, by the looks of it. Because this is presumably corrupted. I think this just has to be a lie at this point. God damn it. That was, okay, that was a gnarly puzzle right there. That was not an easy one. I didn't even think about Chancellor Doppelganger for this. Both sides were... you! That is the smartest ba I've ever seen. Wow. Okay, let's hopefully this is an easier looking puzzle. Never mind, that's a plague doctor. We don't have nighttime. 1 card away from a corrupted character. 6 is evil? I believe you. Yeah, that ba actually learned. Alright, still speed booster. Great job. You have to change that back. Great job. Okay, you're pointing at a whole bunch of things that... Okay, hold on. Well, this is corrupted. This is good. This is now good, because it is correctly pointing at that. That strongly implies one of these two is evil. Let's keep flipping. Bombardier. We should have a second outcast. Wait, we have a Chancellor. We should have a third outcast. I think it's just this. God, king damn it. God fucking damn it. Have I just forgotten how to play Demon Bluff? Is that what this stream is? I just didn't think that we, okay, I didn't think about the, okay. I gotta lock in. Maybe I need to stop playing blind mode. But I'm gonna keep trying. We've got a lover saying 1. Gemcrafter pointing at 4. Witness who says 7. Also, we do have nighttime. And... Hi, Lilith. Okay, so this is no longer blind mode. We have Lilith and a Chancellor. What's the outcast? Wait a minute. This... Okay. Interesting. 3? That is pointing very far away. I don't know if I believe that. It is pointing at something that it could just be these two. You say demon if I do this. You say minion. That's a rambler. That's a wretch. Yeah, but here's the thing. When this was said, this was still alive. That makes me think this is actually... Or this is just... You know, is it just these two? Is it just these two and this is corrupted? How is this corrupted? By a poisoner. We don't have a poisoner. Because this is the Chancellor and it made a drunk. Then how is this also lying? How is this also lying? Wait. Oh, this is always true. This is always true unless this... I think... No, this just is always true. I think this Rambler might be evil. Because... Well, hold up. Puka, corrupted. That can't be a Chancellor. That's where we start. Where do we put a Chancellor? If this is the Chancellor, this is also evil. Which would have to make this evil, which can't happen. So this is not the Chancellor. This is dead, so it's not the Chancellor. I think bro is telling the truth, and this was an outcast, and this is a Chancellor. Fuck. Does that mean this has to be a Chancellor? Okay, I gotta really think about this. How are you a Chancellor? We have a third outcast. Oh my god, we have a third outcast. Why did the PeerTube stream just crash? Hold up. Because it didn't. Okay. The Chancellor could actually be anywhere. Okay, well, my thought was... Yeah, it says it ended. I just refreshed the tab and now it's working again. Let's just try evil drunk. But no, then this has to be evil. And then this Puka poisoning both of these. Poison Chancellor who made a drunk. God damn it. No, I knew it was a Lilith village. God damn it. Okay. I am not locked in right now. I blame PeerTube. PeerTube distracted me. What was this? Judge. God fucking damn. I have forgotten how to play this game. I might need to stop being in blind mode. PeerTube was affected by an evil. Yep. Look, I am corrupted. We've got a bard saying there's no corruption. We do also have nighttime. Evil's not adjacent. Alchemist who easily could have made that true. Second knitter who agrees with the first one. Also, we have a lycanthrope. That is very hard to be true. Minions can... Yeah, that is correct, Effie. Minions can disguise as outcasts, but not the wretch. Okay, I should use this dreamer. Doppelganger or Puka? That means we have a doppelganger, even if it's not here. It also means we have a Puka, which makes this very challenging. We do have a werewolf, which I already knew. An architect who says right side. Good lord. Well, we have a hold up. We have a doppelganger. There is a doppelganger that has to exist. There is only one double claim. This has to be the doppelganger pair. Which also means that we have now confirmed this dreamer. So yeah, one of these is a real knitter and the other is a doppelganger. Next up, how do we make this bard true? It's quite simple. We don't. This bard is never true anymore. It could have been true if one of these was the Pook. Wait a minute. No, because then where do you put a doppelganger? You don't. And the dreamer can't say a role if it's not in play. If I didn't know there was a doppelganger, I would have said one of these could have been the Puka that tried to corrupt this but failed because it's an alchemist, and then tried to corrupt this but failed because of this alchemist. And then this could have been true. However, we know neither of these are the Puka, which means there is no way to make this bard true. This bard's also within this alchemist's range, which makes it quite difficult to be corrupted. I'm gonna do this and see what it says. Scout or bard? So that means one of these is lying. I kind of don't trust this architect, so I'm gonna I don't trust this scout more than I don't trust this bard. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait, hold up. One of them has to be real. Oh, but it could be corrupted. I think this is just evil. It's not. Wait. There's no corrupted characters. Well, first of all, you are no longer a scout. You're Puka. This is the doppelganger, which makes this still possible to be true. This is the other evil. What are some things I know are true? I know these are both true, and I know this is true. You're going to say 3 evils? That is not even slightly true, buddy. That's the werewolf. And we still have to find whatever our minion is. Right. What did... You said doppelganger or Puka. Non-corrupted evil. Yep. This could very easily... The only reason I knew is because there has to be no corrupted characters. Okay, so... Wait a minute. I think it's just bro. Okay, it's just bro. Okay, fair enough. It's just the twin minion. That was a tough one. Okay, I'm back. I have been cured of my corruption by that alchemist specifically. Between 7, 8, and 9? Well, let's flip 7, 8, and 9. That's a knight. That's a dreamer. That's an alchemist who says 1 corruption. Well, if this guy cured a corruption, then this is a free stab. It's a free stab. This is a little sus, because I don't see an outcast or villain or minion in here, but could always be like a doppelganger, or actually it could be a drunk that was seen and then not cured. Your 2 cards, it could also be that this is just evil. I think this might just be evil, but I'm gonna keep flipping. I think these might both be evil. Wait. I gotta keep flipping. Okay, this is getting out of hand. And you two are saying the exact same thing. Believe it or not, this could still be real. This could still be true. But it falls apart. These can't all be true. Let me flip this. Well, you just have to make... Okay. There was a corruption. This guy is never going to hit anything because whatever he hit, this guy cured. Oh. Never mind. 4 is evil. I kind of believe that. Yeah. Now, these actually could have all been real if we had a doppelganger and a shaman. And we would have needed a chancellor to make that doppelganger. Now, the fact that none of these are pointing at... Okay, well, this is corrupted. Presumably by the plague doctor. So what corruption did you see at this point? Corruption from this poisoner and or puka. Correct. And at this point, I know you're not real. That was a silly puzzle. I was wondering what corruption that alchemist was claiming to have seen. But it was that situation where you have a puka sat next to an alchemist, tried to corrupt the alchemist, failed because it's an alchemist, tried to corrupt the confessor and failed because of the alchemist. You love to see it. I can't believe there's 3 bishops and it was none of them. That is really funny. Okay, we do have nighttime. 3, 6, or 7. I'm gonna... well... something's... 3 is good. 2 cards away from closest evil. I feel like these 2 might not be telling the truth, but what do I know? Oh, it's a lycanthrope village. There is not... there's no Lilith. And I will get to know if it turned. Okay, Dreamer. 1 corruption around you. I should use this. Twin minion or puka. I almost hydrated at that stretch redeem. I am tired. Every time there's a medium, you always hope a medium's talking about a lover. Ah, okay. I kind of don't trust this alchemist right now. Second Dreamer. Let's see what you have to say. Twin minion or lycanthrope? I don't think these can both be telling the truth. I think these are both just real and these guys are trying to lie and it's just these 2. You are pointing at 7. And you're pointing at 5. And you think there's evil there. That's an original baker. I'm stabbing this. Nope. Bro actually cured a corruption. There's the twin minion, and there's the lycanthrope. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Okay, no nighttime. A lot of outcasts. 4 cards away from a corrupted character. That's entirely possible if there's only one corruption. One of these two is lying. That makes me think this one might be lying. Or it's both of them even. Okay, well, one of these is not necessarily. It could be doppelganger corrupted. Or doppelganger and corrupted. Oh, we have a witch. I don't trust this. I really think this is... Wait. I really do think this is... No. Okay, this alchemist's evil then. My bad, Bard. That was just such a... That means this is corrupted. How is it corrupted? By a plague doctor that sat right here. And 7 is evil. And we did have a doppelganger. It was doppelganger and corrupted by plague doctor. Okay. That was that one was tricky. Bards, yeah, bards in seat 1 have it tough. That's a druid in seat 1. We do have nighttime. 5 was affected by an evil. That's an investigator. And that's a dreamer. That's a knight, and it's good. Because Lilith failed to kill it. That's a really fun interaction when that happens. Second druid, not a huge fan of that. 2, 4, or 9? I believe you. Closest evil clockwise? I think it might just be 9. Thank you, Lilith. Very cool. I should have used the dreamer. Well, hold up. This is now confirmed. These are also both confirmed. 5 was affected by an evil. What evil was 5 affected by? It's shaman pair. So this is a shaman. This is true at this point, unless it's equidistant. Which it can't be, because this is a shaman pair. You were drunk? That was a drunk who was almost telling the truth. Hold up, what the hell were you then? Just regular minion or twinion? Wow, task failed correctly, I guess? I really just thought that was a shaman pair. No, it was actually a doppelganger pair. Wrong formula, right answer. Wow. That one was fun. I like that village. Okay, we've got nighttime again. That's a wretch, which should be the only outcast. 2 evils adjacent? Well, one of you is lying. Yeah, that time Lilith was arguably the... Well, Lilith killed her freaking teammate in that one. Well, speaking of Lilith killing knights... Why does she keep doing this? Evils are not adjacent to each other. That's a druid who should never find anything. That's a jester. Lilith has a type. Well, I'm gonna flip this and just... Okay, so that's not evil. That makes me think this is evil. I'm sus on you just for not getting killed by Lilith. Yeah, I'm gonna get it this time. It's always funny when Lilith tries to kill a knight. I love that that happens. Yeah, Lilith has a type, and that type is femboys. And yes, that is confirmed. That is confirmed by the developer himself. Okay, so this druid should never see anything. This druid sees nothing. This druid is good. One of these two is evil, and I don't have a good way to figure it out. In a village where Lilith would non-stop stab a village's only knight. Legend has it she's still trying. Okay, so this should say 2. It says 1. That's a little suspicious. I think this is just evil. That's the Chancellor who created this wretch, which means we have another outcast somewhere. You appear to be telling the truth. You are... Okay, yeah, these two just are telling the truth. Now, this is going to be tricky because the other outcast could always be here. Could always be a drunk anywhere. It could always be a plague doctor sat here. Now, these two... This guy is saying some really suspicious information. In fact, this guy is saying provably incorrect information, so... Fair enough. Let's just see. Let me use you to check yourself. You think villager, I think evil. Drunk. We found the other outcast. So then where the hell is... Like, this can no longer be... Wait, this is provably wrong. There's a wretch. And it's a puppeteer. Oh, God. Oh, no. Wait, no, I can solve this because this lover is telling the truth. Is this an old version of the game? Nope. You can turn the counts off. As of a recent update. And I like to turn them off when I'm playing blind. I turn them off in general just because I prefer how it was before. But I especially turn them off when I'm playing blind so that I don't know like this Chancellor and this Puppeteer existed. Puppeteer was not even on my radar, that village. Okay, we do have nighttime. That's a hunter who is making some very interesting claims about his neighbors. You're claiming 7. Interesting. Another investigator. Original baker. Oh, this is a lycanthrope village. Okay. That seems true. Second hunter, who is actually pointing at the same guy as the first hunter. Great job, Ba, with the objectively false statement. These are now objectively true. This appears to be correct. What evil was 7 affected by, I ask you? Oh. Puppet. Puppeteer. When we didn't get a satisfying baker chain. I'm sad. Okay, we've got nighttime again. Confessor who is good. Investigator. Medium who is claiming that this is potentially not an investigator. Hi, Lilith. Lilith, we're not going to get a chance to make Lilith kill something today. There's 6, the real investigator. Now this is an interesting village. Oh, we have a witch. So, Oh god. I need to confirm one of yeah, the double. Wait a minute. Okay, it's just it's either these two or it's these two. So you're gonna say minion. The thing is, you're gonna say demon. Now, a demon can't be in a double claim. Which, hold up. Get this. These could all be lies. I think these are all lies. I think every single one of these is a lie. Damn it. Okay, so the world that I was picturing was that we had evil, chancellor, drunk. That was what I was thinking, because then 2 would not have been a real investigator because it was a drunk. Oh wait, we still have a demon to find, which is Ba at this point. 1 card away from the closest evil? No, you aren't. Oh wait, no, it's Lilith. I forgot the Lilith puzzle again. I am so bad with Lilith puzzles today. Also, I am really glad that Lycanthrope did not turn, because it would have killed me if it did. Okay, no nighttime. Bishop in its own information. Let's flip into that. Bishop in its own information that is true. This is just evil. Confirmably true, which also confirms that is true. Confirmably untrue. I love this game. Okay, I do need to take a quick bathroom break before the next village, but I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Over here. See what the next one has. Not nighttime, that's for sure. Plague Doctor. Dreamer. Bard, who is claiming this is corrupted. Alchemist, who is claiming that is impossible. Original Baker. Extremely suspicious claim. And Witch. Yeah, that checks out. So here's the thing. This one, it's one of these. Huh? Fair enough. You're a baker. You said to stop being a baker and become a baker. Yep. Wait, you couldn't kill 4 because you're corrupted by the Plague Doctor. So if I'm not mistaken, you're gonna say Puka or Alchemist. You're good. Oh wait, it's just this. It's the Witch. Okay, that wasn't that bad, despite the fact that I did stab an innocent. 1 is evil, 2, 5, or 6. Well, I don't have nighttime, so I'm gonna flip into that. Well, that's a wretch, so you're also objectively true, and these are objectively good. Which means I'm no longer gonna flip into it. Bombardier, could be a Chancellor's fault. 1 pair of evil. Could be this. 1 is good, that's true. You are corrupted. You are not 3 cards away. That was not that. That was really easy. That was a really easy Puka puzzle. That really goes to show just how powerful Empress information is. Hey, Pineapple. We're actually getting quite the streak here. Okay, we got nighttime. That's a wretch. You'll love to see it. 9 is a real Plague Doctor. I'm gonna flip that up. I should have waited to flip that up in case this is a lycanthrope. Well, 5 or 9 is allegedly a Chancellor, and 5 just got killed, so I think it might just be these two. So 8 is now confirmed good. You're evil. You're true. You're evil. Hi, Lilith. Jester, who's telling the truth. You could be 1 card away from a corrupted character. This... Okay, I don't actually know. Oh yeah, there's our other outcast. There's the outcast the Chancellor created. Okay, so where is the evil? I think it's just here. It's one of these two. I trust the lover more than I trust the bard here. Wait, no. The Plague Doctor has to hit something. I think the bard... He's telling the truth and it's the lover. Damn it. Wait, what did the Plague Doctor... There was no Plague Doctor. There was no Plague Doctor. Okay. I'm tired. I'm a little sleep deprived. There was no Plague... I saw a Plague Doctor and I just believed it even after I stabbed it. Empress that I'm definitely flipping into. We do have nighttime again. Confirmably true. We have a wretch. This Slayer... This is just... Okay. Hi, Lilith. And we do have a wretch somewhere. Hi, wretch. And that is the only outcast. I almost missed this because of sleep. That checks out. Well, you're not real. Wait, this could be... No, you're just not real. Because this bishop has to be true. Well, you're not real. Because there is no outcast, and now there's a puppet. I barely flipped... I did not flip most of this village. I flipped 5 cards. I flipped 6 cards, and then I just started stabbing, I think. I did actually flip quite a bit. I love when you solve it without even flipping everything. That's just great. Okay, this is a 7 card, so I don't know what it is. Got a judge. That is a factually true statement. That is also a factually true statement. Kind of pointing that this might be Ba. That's a plague doctor. That's evil. Hi, alchemist. You tried. Okay, we do have nighttime today. Confessor who's good. Original baker. Judge. Hi, Lilith. So, the baker chain may have just died, unfortunately. Although 6 does seem exceptionally good right now. I think this might just be the evil team. Yep. That was a puppeteer. Oh, and then this was another confessor. Okay, so the baker chain didn't die. The baker chain went here and then had nowhere to go. Rambler. Bard telling the Rambler to shut up. Closest evil, not that way. That seems suspicious. A village filled with more than half a village of Baker. I had that happen once. Okay, hold up. 3 or 5 is a poisoner. We have a poisoner. Okay. Fortune teller. Confessor who is good. Druid who is either going to say shut up or... Okay, Druid who says shut up. I think these are all just good. I think... Hold up, you're in your own info. You are either corrupted or this is the poisoner. And this can't be the poisoner. So you're corrupted and this is the poisoner. That's Ba. Well, you have to be corrupted. Because, like, this is just objectively true. This can no longer be evil. Which means this is the poisoner. Yep. Baker hive mind. Yeah, that was another nice and easy one. We're on village 17. Hold up. How'd this happen? That's a plague doctor. That is a medium saying something I do not believe for a second. 3 was affected by any... My guy, you are 3. Okay, so this is just not a real Rambler. That's a real Rambler. Hold up. So you're evil and created the real Rambler. You're also lying and corrupted. God fucking damn it. God damn it. I got too confident. That's where the plague doctor corruption landed. God damn it. I got death by over enthusiasm. Okay, well, we don't have nighttime. Let's just keep going. Alchemist saying no one. Druid. We have a puka. That is very difficult, but possible. That is very difficult, but possible to be true if we have a plague doctor. Okay, this is no longer possible. We do have a plague doctor, though, and it had to not be here. Okay, so this is always lying. One is evil. Did not see that coming. Well, that means you're either evil or corrupted. Evil. Minion is one card away from closest evil? I don't know how much I believe that. Actually, I kind of do believe that. Because, hold up. I need to think about this. Okay, that was a lot more corruption there. What is it with lying hunters and the number 4? It was possible. Okay, no nighttime. Closest evil that way. Rambler. Rambler. 5 is good. And an original baker. Okay, well. Is it the sofa? Which one is it? It's the sofa guy or the idiot sandwich? One of them's not a rambler. Well, if it's this one, then it's these two. Let's just look at it. Look at the scenario where it's these two. You're telling the truth. You two are both real, and you will say, shut up. I think it's just these two. These two and a puppet. There we go. That one wasn't that bad. Judge. Rambler. No evil's adjacent. Think it's just this guy. I'm gonna be real. Puka. Yep. Easy puzzle. Okay, we've got nighttime. This might be a spicy one. Druid. Poet who says clockwise. Poet who says clockwise. Dreamer, who I should use. Poet or puppeteer? So we have a puppeteer. But that is what you would say if these are both real. So I think these could all just be real. You're good. You're dead. Okay, so we have puppeteer Lilith. Factually true statement unless there's a drunk. Or a plague doctor. Here's a wild idea. What if it's just these? What if it's these and poet is the lie here and puppeteer is the true? Well, I would make this a lie. But you got either corrupted by this plague doctor or are drunk. If you say 3, I think it's this. Wait, but you're saying puppeteer or Lilith there. Now I think this is actually a lying dreamer. This is a poet. Never mind. Okay. Backtrack everything. Poet or puppeteer? It saw the poet correctly? Which means this is not puppeteer. That also means this is confirmed now. Which means there is a puppeteer or a Lilith here. This is dead. This is always evil. Which means this is always the Lilith. There was no puppet. Okay, that was a spicy one. Not quite the kind that I'd want to end the stream on. Drew says 1. We don't have nighttime, by the way. Baker, who is definitely lying. Great job, Witch. This should be an outcast? Doppelganger. Two is good. 2 is not good. Witch hanging out with Ba so much. Yeah, that was a Ba. You just knew it was. How did you know it was Ba? What even were these? Oh, Baker. Yeah, we've got nighttime and 10 cards. This is gonna be a spicy puzzle. This is technically possible. That's what I thought. Sometimes you just go for it and it just works. Sometimes you really do just use the Slayer in Seat 2 on the demon in Seat 1 and it just works. Great job, Lilith. Okay, this seems like it's true. We have a poisoner, allegedly way over here. Allegedly here. That is what you would say if you were evil. It's also what you would say if you were corrupted. Let's see if this seems like it's lying. It does. I think this is just the poisoner. It is. So, true, true, evil, corrupted. Second lover, that's a little suspicious. Third lover, that's even more suspicious. And witness who is telling the truth. So, I have put myself into a 50-50. You win the 50-50 every time, half the time. That was surprisingly not as challenging as I thought it would be. You were oh yeah, doppelganger for the other lover. Okay, we've got an 8 card with nighttime. Maybe this will be the spicy puzzle I'm looking for. No one was corrupted around you. That's a Slayer. Bard, who is claiming specifically this is corrupted. Hi, Lilith. 1 or 4 is a shaman. Interesting. Interesting. Not corrupted? I should have used it on this. If you're claiming one of these is corrupted, you're claiming this is corrupted, that implies this is evil. Ow. I actually know what. Okay, this pop up means I got a new skin unlocked, which means this is a shaman pair, which means these are both good. Could this guy be lying? I think it's more likely that this is evil. Drunk. Which also confirms one. Okay, so hold up. Where the hell are the liars? So I need to find a shaman, and I need to find some kind of demon. And there is not a lot of room for... Wait a minute. 5 is corrupted. Okay, we found the shaman. You do not appear to be one card away from a corrupted character. Yep, execute a shaman. Execute someone in a shaman pair. It was Lilith. I forgot it was Lilith again. God damn it. I keep forgetting about Lilith. Okay, I am going to exit out to the menu. Because there is something I want to check. I don't know where you check this. Achievements, there it is. Oh god, these are all Halloween. So okay, I just can't get these. That's great. There is no next page. So I actually have all the skins now. That was the last skins for me to unlock. Because I can't unlock these other skins because it's not Halloween right now. Which is a little annoying, but I say as if I was using any of these skins anyways, which I'm not. Even though I do quite like this one. Rare, apparently? Okay, these rarities don't mean anything. As usual. We could maybe do the classic gaslight the computer about the date, but I don't really care enough to do that, so... Rarity artificial, yep. I think that was a good enough puzzle to end the stream on. Also, I'm getting really goddamn hungry. I think I am going to call it here. And head over here. That was a really fun stream. But let's go figure out who I'm going to send the Twitch folks over to. Of course, if y'all want to keep up with all of my shenanigans, you should check out my site here, which has all of my links to everywhere I am active. Let me just get that in all of the chats real quick. Streamplace and PeerTube, this is going to be the end of the stream. Twitch crew, I'm going to be raiding. I don't know where, but I'm going to. I haven't yet decided where. Still looking around. Looks like, oh my god, why is everyone playing? Why is everyone playing Twilight Princess right now? What the heck? Yeah, an ARG, that is true. There is still an ongoing ARG. Thank you for reminding me, because I forgot as well. I am very good at forgetting about my ongoing ARG. I need to shill that more. Please, please, please keep solving it. Like, the 3.0 debut is not happening until y'all solve it, so, like, y'all gotta solve it. I feel like I've been raiding into Orchid a lot lately. So I don't like raiding the same person too many times in a row, although Orchid is great. You know what? Yeah, let's read Flora. Yep, Flora. I've been called out. I'm gonna send you all over to Flora, who is currently doing some art. Oh god, we've got an incoming ad break and I can't snooze it. It's fine. I'm gonna raid out before the ad starts. But yeah, we're sending all over to Flora. She's doing some art. She's great. I'm gonna go make some damn lunch, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.